"What of you, Your Grace? Have you had any contact with your son-in-law?" The Duchess seemed surprised at first I should ask her, but she quickly recovered, shaking her head. "No, not for several months. I was in London when he escorted Eleanor and his children here." I turned to Lady Helmswick in question, wondering if she would explain. Her eyes gleamed in her pale face. "The cholera outbreak." Her simple reply sent a chill of fear whispering down my spine. The deadly disease that had ravaged Russia and the Baltic lands had reached the shores of Britain, despite all efforts to prevent it, in early November at the port of Sunderland in northern England. From there, it had begun to spread to the north and south along the coast, leapfrogging its way closer to the densely populated cities, leaving death in its wake. I'd yet to hear of the disease reaching London, but Edinburgh had seen its first case around Christmas, spreading rapidly through the squalid, overcrowded tenements. In 2 weeks, it had already killed more people than the number of deaths attributed to the typhus outbreak of the previous spring. Helmswick's estate lay in Haddington, along the North Sea just to the east of Edinburgh, much too close to one of the pockets of contagion for my comfort. It had been fortuitous that the Earl had thought to remove his family before the disease neared his home. As if reading my thoughts, his wife nodded. "We hadn't known, of course, that cholera would actually reach Haddington, but I didn't want to take any chances, not with the children. So before he departed for Paris, we decided the children and I would journey here." She glanced at her mother. "With the holidays approaching, it seemed appropriate. That's why I left London so urgently." The Duchess reached out a hand to her daughter, who took it. "When I received Eleanor's letter, saying they were fleeing the cholera, I knew she might have need of me at son-law's." My mouth creased into a small smile at the evidence of the natural affection between mother and daughter, all the better to deny the tiny stab of envy I felt that I should never experience something similar with my parent. My mother had died when I was 8 years old, and while Alana had done her best as my older sister to fill that empty space, it could never be the same. However, I also couldn't ignore the little gnaw of doubt that neither of them was being completely honest with me. Perhaps the suspicion was unjustified, the mere consequence of my jealousy, but I had noted the watchful manner in which the pair interacted, almost as if they were taking their cues from each other as to what to say. Lady Helmswick's fear of cholera was genuine, but that did not mean she hadn't also come here for a different reason, one that further explained her motives for sending that insistent letter, asking her mother to join her here. The Duchess sat taller. "You don't think... Could that be how this man died?" she queried with wide eyes. "The cholera?" "No, I'm afraid it's not so simple," I informed her with a grimace. "He almost certainly met with foul play."